In my previous video, I showed you how much it cost to Apple Seed Enterprise to pay me $5,000 salary per month. Here also you can see to pay me $5,000 salary, it cost Apple Seed Enterprise a total of $6,230. Now let's go to the calculation. This is the calculation sheet. Here you can see the total cost to Apple Seed Enterprise is $6,230. This is the pay to employee column. This is the pay to others column. Here you can see $3,370 is my take home here total per month, and $2,860 uh, is the amount that Apple Seed Enterprise need to pay to government, insurance company, and other agencies, and the total amount is $6,230. Let's see what are the entries I need to make in three different financial statements for this transaction. Let's start with the income statement. Do I need to make any entry in this income statement? Answer is yes. Here you can see there is one item called general and administrative expenses. Till now there is no general and administrative expenses, and I am considering this $6,230 is a general and administrative expenses. So in the current transaction column against this general and administrative expenses, I am adding $6,230. Here you can see the operating expense is $6,230, and you can see the income from operation is minus $6,230. This is negative because there is no income from sales, which here you can see it is zero. That's why the income from operations is negative, and net income is also negative. So this is my income statement. Let's go to the next statement, which is cash flow statement. Do I need to make any entry over here in this cash flow statement? Answer is yes. How much money I have to uh, enter over here, and against which item I need to make an entry? Let's go back to the salary and employment expense calculation worksheet. Here you can see $3,370 is the only money that is going to leave the company or that has already left the company, and it is my take home. And $2,860 which Apple Seed Enterprise need to pay to government, insurance company, and other agencies is not paid yet. So it is still with Apple Seed Enterprise. So this is the only amount that is going to leave the company right now or that has already left the company. Now here I am considering this amount has already left the company. So let's go to the cash flow statement. Here against cash disbursement, I am adding $3,370. So there is no prior transaction for cash disbursement, and the current transaction is $3,370, and the total amount for cash disbursement is $3,370. Here you can see cash flow from operation is negative, which is minus $3,370. There is no sales of capital stock, right? There is no current transaction for sales of capital stock. Prior transaction is $1.55 million. Now here you can see my ending cash balance is 1.55 $54 million. Now this is my cash flow statement. Now let's go to the next statement, which is balance sheet. Do I need to make any entry over here? The answer is yes. Now where do I need to make entry for this transaction? Here you have already seen that this $3,370 is the only money that has left Apple Seed Enterprise. So if I go back to balance sheet, so my current transaction against cash is minus $3,370. So this is the only amount that has left Appleseed Enterprise. So that's why I'm subtracting $3,370 from $1.55 million, which results $1.54 million. So that is the total cash right now Appleseed Enterprise has. You can see the current asset is all is 1.55 million dollar. There is no fixed asset, accumulated depreciation, and other assets. So the total asset is $1.54 million. Now let's go to the next part, which is liabilities and equity. Now, do I need to make any entry in this liabilities and equity section? The answer is yes. Now, why do I need to make an entry? Let's go back to the calculation. Here you can see this $2,860, which is not yet paid, which is still there with the company. But the company owe to pay this money to government, insurance companies, and other agencies. So this much amount we can add it in the accrued expenses. So let's go to the accrued expenses, and this is accrued expenses and $2,860 I'm adding here in the current transaction. There is no prior transaction for accrued expenses. My current transaction for accrued expenses $2,860. The total amount is $2,860, and the current liability is $2,860. This is the current liability. This is liability to the company because the company need to pay this amount to government, insurance company, and other agencies. Now, what are the other entries I need to make over here? There is another entry I need to make over here for this transaction, and that entry I need to make against retained earning. Now, here you can see the total cost to company is $6,230, and this amount is actually reducing company's retained earning. So once this total amount is paid, it will reduce the company's retained earning. But right now I need to make an entry for this $6,230 in the retained earning section. So here I am. So my retained earning is actually negative because this much money is going to reduce from the company's cash balance or retained earning. Right now there is no retained earning. Only this much amount is going to be reduced from my retained earning. So that's why it is negative. And you can see my total liabilities and equities $1.54 million, which is equal to my total assets. That means the balance sheet is fully balanced. So let's revisit what are the entries I made for this financial transaction. First, go to this salary and expenses. Here you can see this is $3,370 is my take home, and $2,860 is the amount Appleseed Enterprise need to pay government and other insurance companies and other agencies. And the total amount is $6,230. Let's go to the income statement, and I'm considering this $6,230 as a general and administrative expense. There is no prior transaction for this general and administrative expense. Current transaction is $6,230, and total transaction is $6,230, and net income you can see it is negative, which is minus $6,230. Let's go to the next statement, that is cash flow statement. In cash flow statement also, I make an entry of $3,370 against cash disbursement. Uh, this is the amount which is my take home, and this is the amount which is going to leave the organization, and rest of the amount, this 2,600 $2,860, which is the obligation of the company to pay to government, insurance companies and other agencies. But still the company can hold is holding this amount. It is yet to pay this amount. So this is here you can see in this cash flow statement, this ending cash balance is $1.54 million. Let's go to the balance sheet. Now this is the asset section, and this is the liabilities plus equity section. In asset section, against cash, I made an entry of minus $3,370, which has left the organization as my take home. So I have reduced this amount from the cash, and now the total cash is $1.54 million, and the total asset is $1.54 million of assets. Now let's go to the liabilities and equity section. Here you can see this is accrued expense. I have added $2,860, which is the amount that Apple Seed Enterprise need to pay to government, insurance company, and other agencies. So I've added that over here, and my current liability is $2,860. Now, if I go to the retained earning, you can see I have included this $6,230 in retained earning. There is no retained earning right now. This is negative retained earning because Apple Seed Enterprise is going to pay me the salary, and to pay me $5,000 salary per month, it cost $6,230 to Apple Seed Enterprise, and this much money is uh, is is going to decrease the retained earning in the balance sheet. So I have included this one, minus $6,230 in retained earnings against retained earnings, and the total retained earnings is minus $6,230. Now here you can see this this reduced, this has reduced shareholders equity. Now shareholders equity also reduced to $1.54 million, and the total liabilities plus equity is $1.54 million, which is exactly same as total assets.